Version 10 of Tesla software has finally arrived. We have had it on our Model 3 for more than a week now, and this is the biggest Tesla update of all time. I'm Alex with Hypnotech. I'm going to talk about all the awesome things about this update, all the negative things about the update, everything you need to know. We're going to discuss it right now. So the first big thing about V10 that I am super excited about, and the first thing I naturally checked out, is Tesla Theater. Yes, I'm a media junkie. I love entertainment. And this update has finally added what a lot of people have asked for, and that's entertainment apps. We have Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube all installed on your car just right off the bat. All you have to do is click in, log into your account, and it plays. So just a few things off the bat, right? This only works when the car is in park. So you have to park the car. You cannot watch it while you're driving. I will adjust that in a second. But it is the coolest thing when you're at a supercharger or you're waiting for something and you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix, you can watch Hulu. Yes, you still have to have accounts. So you have to have a Netflix subscription. You have to have a Hulu Plus account if you want stuff like that, like live TV. Or YouTube, you just sign in on your YouTube account, or you can just watch it as a guest. But it is awesome to have that feature to watch videos when you're waiting. Just that big screen is perfect for entertainment and media purposes, and we finally have access to that. So when you actually click on the video enlarges to a full screen. You have to tap on the top corner to exit out. They give you a little menu bar at the top. You kind of have to exit out every single time to check your charge, what percentage charge you're at. I wish there was an easier way to kind of like swipe to, minimize the screen or something like that. I'm sure later on we're going to have better fluidity between the apps, but right now it's a great start. It's awesome to have. So once again, the car has to be parked for Tesla Theater to work. And when you're driving, it is grayed out so you can't even click on it. But I do have to say, I think it's going to be sooner rather than later where you're actually going to be able to watch while you're driving. Automation is going to evolve a lot in the next 5 to 10 years. And Elon Musk himself has even stated that he's anticipating that the Tesla vehicles are not going to have steering wheels one day. So when that happens and lawmakers catch up and they create these laws, one of these days, you're going to be able to watch Netflix while your car chauffeurs you to your destination. And that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to a day like that. So watching media on your Tesla is cool, but what's even cooler is playing a big time game in your car as well. So a few months back, I purchased one of the hardest games I've ever played. It's called Cuphead. If you haven't played Cuphead, you should definitely check out Cuphead if you don't have a Tesla. But if you do have a Tesla, well, congratulations, you actually have that game for free. I've actually purchased it. It used to be on Steam, and I purchased it on the Switch. So to play Cuphead on your Tesla, you have to first go to the Tesla Arcade, which has a new location in the menu bar. So it's really nice interface now with a bunch of listed games on the side. Once you select the game, you can't actually play it unless you have a USB controller plugged in. And the USB controller has to be plugged in through the Tesla USB slot. You can't have a USB hub plugged in and plugging that thing in, which I actually do have a USB hub in my car to plug in my Qi charger. So you have to actually unplug that USB hub and plug it directly in for the controller to be recognized. So I did that, and we played Cuphead in the car. So all that frustration I have playing Cuphead on the Switch transferred over to the car. Good thing we can't drive the car while we're playing this, because I will have road rage like crazy dying over and over in Cuphead. But yes, the game runs pretty smoothly. You can't see the frame rates, but I have not seen any screen tearing, no lag. It looks great, it plays great, it runs well, and from my experience, it plays just like the Switch version. I haven't really noticed any frame dropping here. So I'm very impressed you can play Cuphead. This is a terrific game, and a bunch of people out there are gonna absolutely fall in love with this game. Otherwise, they wouldn't have known this. Like a lot of older adults, they don't have Switches, they don't have Steam, but because they have a Tesla, they now have a chance to play this awesome game. So really cool that Tesla has included this here. And now we have the audio stuff we're going to talk about. So this update is absolutely huge for entertainment because not only do you have visual stuff when the car is parked, when you're driving, we now have Spotify. So one of the biggest complaints I have had is tune-in radio that's included in the car, and also Tesla's own streaming music thing. It's not that great. Honestly, tune-in radio has been horrendous for me. For example, with Tesla's own system, when you search for a song, you can play it only once, you can't play back, you can't switch back, you can't even loop the song over. You have to wait for it to go in a playlist on and on and on until that song re-hits. With Spotify, you log in with your Spotify premium account. You have to have a premium Spotify account to use these features though. And if you do have that and you log onto it, it actually completely answers all those issues I had with Tesla's own streaming service. I can play a song, I can repeat a song, I can fast forward a song with my Spotify premium account. Now, of course, it's not a perfect version of Spotify. You can't search for songs. The interface just isn't that nice compared to actual Spotify on your phone. But I do have to say, I'm glad we do have Spotify here and we do have access to your Spotify playlists all on your car interface. So you don't have to keep pulling out your phone and using that, your Bluetooth connection, as a way to control Spotify. You actually have that native now. So Tesla also has a new music app in your car. It's called Karaoke. Get it? Karaoke. And it is exactly as it sounds. It's karaoke in your car. And you can actually do this while you're driving. When you're driving and you're in karaoke mode, or whatever it's called, you click on the lyrics page, and then the lyrics will pop up with a little line going through it, just like you would on a karaoke machine. So when you're driving, your passengers can watch and sing along. This is great for kids, great for adults, just long road trips like this would be really fun. And yes, there are limited songs. The list of songs that you can use with this karaoke mode is pretty limited, but it's still pretty expansive all in all. There's still quite a lot, and I'm sure they're just going to keep expanding this as it goes. But very neat stuff. These are cool little things that Tesla didn't have to do, but they did. It's a fun car. It's making a fun car even more fun, which is very strange to say. On the map side of things, they did clean up the map a little bit, change the interface slightly. And one thing they did add is kind of like, you know how Yelp has that I'm feeling lucky button or random searches? They have those now for restaurants and this I'm feeling lucky, just random activity place that they recommend you in your vicinity that you're at. From my experience doing this, it just keeps recommending me to fast food places. Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, El Pollo Loco. I do live in a pretty big city, so there's a lot of restaurants out here, a lot of hipster restaurants out here too. So the fact of the matter is that they keep recommending me fast food restaurants. I don't know the algorithm, but definitely not hole in the wall for sure. So not really too impressive here. I'm probably not using this too much. And then on the driver's side of the information stuff, we do have improved visualization. So remember in that Tesla automation investors meeting, they showed off this version of the visualization where you can actually see trees and it actually looks like a 3D model of you driving the car. Well, that's not here yet, but it's a step closer. So on this update, I have seen the lanes increase. So when you're in the freeway, you actually see the lanes go wider out. The camera still doesn't pick up the cars on the farthest lanes, but I can see up to like 6 lanes on the visualization, and they're dotted now. Instead of solid lines, they're dotted lines that match whatever street you're driving on. So it is pretty cool, especially if you drive in, like, in my case, Southern California. We have expansive freeways with six lanes. And if you drive around the center, you actually see all of it out there. So it's pretty cool. The visualization stuff has improved a lot. And we're getting closer to that point where we're going to see trees. We're going to actually see a visualization exactly, almost exactly a replica of what we're driving like. And with autopilot lane change, we have a new visualization where there's a box the size of your car that appears in the lane next to you when you're about to change lanes. It's supposed to visualize where you're going to end up. I have noticed that most of the time the car is directly parallel from where my car is on the visualization. It's not realistic in a sense because when you're driving and you're making a lane change, you're never going directly parallel. You're always improving in a speed. So you're either going diagonal forward or diagonal backwards, right? You slow down, wait for a car to go up, and then you go behind them, or you accelerate in front of them. You never directly shift from one spot to another. And so the visualization right now makes it appear like you're directly shifting the car from one lane to the other parallel to each other. And so I feel like right now it's not very beneficial to see that, but I do see a situation in the near future where they kind of tinker with it, they improve the visualization even more to represent that actual diagonal turn, and it's gonna actually be pretty helpful, because if you say have a car directly parallel to you, and it shows you the visualization that, okay, it's doing an automatic lane change and it's gonna go in front of it, of the car, and it shows you the visualization box where it's in front of the other car, I see how that can help a lot of people. So one day when it gets to that point, it's gonna be very beneficial, but this is just a starting point, and I'm glad it is a starting point. Very cool improvements. And then there's a bunch of other little things in here like Joe mode. So Joe mode essentially lowers the chime volume in the car so it doesn't disturb the other passengers in your car. Sometimes your kids are sleeping or you just want some peace and quiet in a long drive. With Sentry mode in V10, we do have improved data management. It will now recycle the footage better, so it will roll over your footage smarter, and it also will have its own folder in your USB drive away from your other files, away from your other video files when you're driving. So that's pretty cool to have better storage management for the USB drive. I do wish eventually we will be able to view that USB drive stuff on a media player in the car. I mean, I don't see why they don't do that right now. If you do have Sentry mode notifications, it is pretty annoying. You have to unplug it, plug it into your computer, or connect to your phone somehow and view it there. If we can directly view what's going on with the camera in your car on your dash, that's so much more efficient, and we can determine whether something dramatic did happen to the car immediately. And of course, for version 10, we have to talk about the big granddaddy of the update, which is Smart Summon. We've been waiting for Smart Summon for quite a long time, and we've been using it since we first got it with this update. I have to say, straight off the bat, it is finicky, but it is such a cool finicky thing, you know? Now, when you're in a public setting, I'm sure you've seen all the Walmart videos and all the near misses or actual crashes. I probably wouldn't recommend it. We used it once outside TJ Maxx before, but at around 9 p.m., so it wasn't too packed. And it worked pretty well. It was like 2 aisles down, like 6 spots down the line, and it actually came and picked us up, and I actually loaded my furniture stuff into the car, no problem. So that was kind of cool. But most of the time, I would say it works relatively well. If you know how to use it and what situation to use it, of course, this is nowhere near the full autonomous driving where you don't have to worry about anything and the car just comes to you. You have to use extreme caution. But if you, just like with autopilot, if you know what you're doing, if you're used to it and you understand the limitations of Smart Summon, it is absolutely beneficial. I absolutely will love using this with my grandparents. There are a lot of times where I take my 90-year-old grandparents out for dinner, and either I have to keep them on the curb and drive and walk and get my car and drive up to them to pick them up, or I have to walk with them to my car through the parking lot, which is bad. So this would be awesome to actually summon the car for them to go into the car. I could see tremendous benefits for a lot of people with this. So yeah, I am a fan of Smart Summon. I do think it has a lot of potential. I'm not down on it like a lot of people are after seeing all those fail videos. I really do understand the limitations of it. I won't use it in certain situations, but I absolutely will with others. You just kind of have to get a good feel for it. But I do see tremendous benefits with Smart Summon, and definitely I'm very excited about this feature. But yeah, this V10 update is absolutely amazing. Like, just imagine, the best analogy for you guys on our tech channel is when we do these 1 week with Android updates, right? Like Lita just did the 1 week with Android 10. Imagine that with your car, right? Like you're upgrading from Android Pie to Android 10, but for your car. That's how big these things are. The whole thing feels refreshed, or like an iOS update. That's exactly what we just got for the Tesla cars. Just last year, there was no way I would have ever imagined something like this would happen. Like, you don't think of your car like a phone, but right now the Tesla Model 3 is basically like a phone. We just got a software update just like an Android phone would get their software update, or an iPhone would. That's pretty amazing to think about. And I am so excited to see where this car keeps taking us in the future and how it's evolved and evolved and evolved, and how to see the interface and the visualizations continue to change. In a couple years, my car might be completely different from when I first got the car here in 2019. And it's insane to think about how far along we've come with technology. So yeah, I'm Alex of Tech. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have the version 10 update and you had some crazy experiences, or if you feel similarly to me, let me know in the comments below. I'm very excited to talk more about Teslas in the future, and I'll see you guys very soon.
And that's it. Be sure to subscribe here. Hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our videos, and check out our other videos right here. Until next time,